Does this mic work?
Hello?
Well then, fuck that mic!
You're listening to the only podcast that admits they might know what they are talking about.
And that's just facts!
This is We Might Know Sports.
I love you!
With Stefan,
Well, the topic Corey might like. I don't even know.
Kevin,
Oh, damn it. I already picked him.
and Corey.
I hope everyone has a ball.
We like sports and we don't care who knows.
No forget Jesus, people!
The ceiling is the roof. Let's make it happen.
Without Jerry McNamara, we wouldn't have won 10 fucking games this year.
Where are we at in society today? Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
Don't tell me how upset I am.
And tonight I saw and heard one of the most disgusting, rudest, sick demonstrations in my entire career. Probably the worst.
Buckle up, buckaroo!
And here we go.
There we go. Helps if I push the button. I'm aggravated. Listen. Calling someone out right now. We got a YouTube commenter. Throwing my markers. Hey, jerk off, who never has posted a video in his life. Don't mock a fucking podcast that
Kevin,
has
not sure you
5
can hear
views.
us. We can't hear you.
Good. I'm glad. I can hear you.
You can hear us?
Yes.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
Yeah. How can you hear me if you knew what I'm saying?
Nope.
This
Wait.
better?
Yes.
So this is why we have 5 views. Jerk off.
So whatever rant you were just going on, you want to try to redo it?
No, I'm fine. They could hear. It doesn't matter about you guys. You guys can
Okay.
watch the recap. It'll be there. The epic
Alright.
fail that was. Coming in angry.
I see that.
I don't even know
Start off on a
where.
good note.
Where are we going?
Where are we going?
How was your weekend, folks?
Fantastic.
It was all right.
Just all right.
I think he's upset because I beat his ass in class last night.
You beat me 2 out of 3 times.
That's better than 50%.
How are my chances looking at getting a goal versus you guys at class?
Probably pretty good.
I think once you play it a few times, you'll get the hang of
Yeah.
it.
So
Because we played with somebody that was playing for the first time, and it just took him a few times, and he started catching.
So it all depends on how many beers I have.
He didn't
Yeah,
win
that's-
once.
No, he didn't win any games,
Oh, all right.
but he scored.
Speaking of beers, we're all drinking today.
They're all drinking for once.
Well,
Hey.
one of us is 007, the other 2,
All right. So let's hop into this. We're going to start right off with our NASCAR. Because why not?
'Cause I
Corey,
fucking won.
that's your job.
Oh, Watkins Glen, I don't like road races. It's a pretty boring race. Pretty much wherever you qualify is where you're going to finish. There's not a lot of movement. Daniel Suarez was able to finish in the top 5, although he qualified like 4th or 6th. So he didn't move up that much. That's who Stefan picked for the win this week. I believe you picked Danica. She actually moved up from where she qualified. She had a poor qualifying.
I thought she qualified
all-
at 25th and finished in 25th.
Okay, I thought she finished 20. I thought she finished 22nd, so I
Oh.
thought she moved up 3.
Kevin's the new NASCAR expert.
I was watching
I know.
intently yesterday at work.
I know Allmendinger qualified 7th and finished 8th or 9th, so he was
The dang.
right there. Yeah, there wasn't much movement. Boring. I don't have much to say other than it was near our hometown.
So this next race is going to be in Michigan. The last time race in Michigan was a couple weeks ago. Stefan and I tied for first. with my pick of Harvick and his of Kurt Busch. So, Stefan, you won. You get to pick.
Can we talk about like where we're at in the standings?
You are 2 points behind in second place. Did you just want to hear me say it?
Yeah, I just wanted to hear it.
Just because you guys can't see it, it was up on the screen for a little bit. So
Corey's still a solid third.
Solid third. But
yes, in the playoffs.
He did gain some ground.
He gained some ground on you.
Yeah, that's all that matters. I'm first place.
Well, for now.
For now.
All right. So I'm going with a one Mr. Eric Jones.
Cool.
Yeah.
Real quick info on Michigan. It's a fast track. So young drivers and drivers who don't have that much skill tend to do well here. If that helps.
All right, Corey, go ahead. You came in second.
I'm taking Kyle Larson.
Kyle Larson. And I am also taking Eric Jones.
Wow.
So, looks like we're going to be tying in Michigan again, Stefan. Not previously planned.
At least I know I'm not going to lose any ground on you.
So I just have to beat you guys,
Yeah.
which is big for me because I'm in third.
Your best bet is us crashing in like 1 point, and you.
Luckily, I saved the driver that I think is going to win NASCAR this year. So,
Says the guy in last place.
we'll see. When he wins Michigan, I don't want to hear a thing.
We have 4 races left before we get to reset, and then it becomes a little more open. And I feel like we should change the rules up for the chase where we can't pick the same driver.
I think we're going to change it up where we can't pick the same driver, and since
As someone else, I mean.
yeah, as someone else, and the way the real chase is set up, you get more points based on how you did, like how many stages you won. I think we should do it by how many wins, because you guys have more wins anyway, so I'm not like favoring myself.
I have the same amount of wins too.
Oh.
He's got one more win.
Okay.
Than us.
Well, we can figure something out like that. Now that we're keeping track of wins, we might as well make it a benefit.
Get like bonus points.
Yeah, exactly. You start out with more points than someone else.
Get an
so
extra
if you
5.
if you finish in first with points plus have first with wins, we'll give you more points.
All right. Sounds fair.
I don't really understand how that's going down. But
We'll figure it out.
that's why I'm in charge of fantasy football, not fantasy NASCAR.
The league I'm in charge of, fantasy baseball. How's that looking for you guys?
Shitty.
Why, you won?
Did I?
It's looking fine for me. I just walloped Ryan.
Hey, his name is not allowed to be broadcast until he makes a stat correction again.
Oh, okay. I just walloped Watersmeet or whatever his name is.
Stefan beat me 5-4 last week.
That's right.
Nice.
So it looks like Corey gained a little more ground. And that's that, I guess. That's how much we care about our fantasy baseball league. All right. You guys want to jump into the 50 next 10 on the 50 blacklist?
50 blacklist. 50 greatest black athletes might just sound a little better than that, but
sure,
we'll take 50.
I'm
50
as ready as I'm gonna be, I guess. Go
50
ahead.
blacklist.
All right. Coming in at number 20, Gail Sayers.
All right. So not holding on. Go ahead. Keep going.
Do you guys even know who Gail Sayers is?
Yeah, he was a running back for the Chicago Bears.
Ooh, look at you. Held the NFL single game touchdown record since 1960.
He was who everyone was comparing Reggie Bush to when Reggie was coming out of college. Gale Sayers was the first player to be like an all-purpose running back. Could do punt returns, kick returns. He was good out of the backfield receiving, good runner.
I mean, he was the youngest player ever inducted to the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
And yet his dominance is super low.
22 touchdowns rookie season.
Yeah, he was all right.
It's decent.
All right, I would take him on my fantasy team, just saying.
Came out of Speed, Kansas. He was destined for greatness.
Destined for speed.
Speed.
He was the Kansas Comet.
Known for speed.
Look at his kick return average. He has the record.
Bet you he also probably did a lot of speed.
Well, you need some kind of performance enhancing.
So who has a problem with this?
I don't.
I don't.
Is he better than Kobe Bryant, though?
No. Or LeBron James.
What about Steph Curry?
Yes. Steph Curry can get off this damn list.
I have no problem with number 19.
19 is Emmitt Smith.
Finally, someone better than Kobe Bryant. We're getting there.
Hey, eventually it's got to happen, right?
Yeah. All the way up to 19, so I guess we know where I'd put Kobe.
I mean, do we really have to describe Emmitt Smith? I think everyone knows who he is still. I mean, maybe younger fans might not, but he was part of the Cowboy era.
Yeah, their dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's not really much to say. He's the all-time leading rusher. I don't know about having much inspiration or impact on society, but he was damn good at football.
They didn't even put his dominance wasn't even that high.
I don't understand the dominance. We can talk circles with that.
I'm surprised that number 18, being that it seemed the way this list has been going, Satchel Paige is at 18. I mean, he seems like an older. I would have expected him towards the bottom of this list more than anything, with Steph Curry and all them in front of him.
Well, it just leads me to believe that we're going to see Jackie Robinson in the top 10. Because Satchel Paige is kind of the first, or he might be, I might even say it. He was one of the best pitchers and the first to break through the race barrier.
An estimated 2,500 games, 2,000 wins, and 300 shutouts. I mean, now
well, MLB barred him.
Is this real? He played at 59 years old?
Apparently.
What the fuck? How do you even do that?
Because it's baseball.
I mean, nowadays it's
he did make it to the major leagues at 42 years old.
Jesus. Yeah, now I understand why he played at 59.
Yeah, I think it was just one of those. He's one of those guys. Inspiration, impact on society. He was able to break through when it was rare for black athletes to break through in baseball. So I'm okay with it. I understand the inspiration and other stuff being high.
This next guy, I have a kind of an issue. Dr. J, Julius Irving. He kind of inspired me to start playing basketball back when I was a youth, and that was probably like 10 years past his retirement.
So you have a problem with him being too low?
I think he should be higher. I mean, how many dunk contests did he inspire? I mean, Michael Jordan's famous foul line was inspired by him.
I don't have a problem with the inspiration part. My problem is having dominance higher than both of those. Dr. J was not a dominant player. He has one ring. We have people with multiples below him.
He's got 16. No, it says he's got 3 titles.
ABA.
Okay.
That's not NBA.
No,
he has one NBA title.
This is saying MVP honors.
Yeah, but the ABA was better than the NBA at that time.
I'm not impressed.
Most career points of NBA and ABA players.
Combined, yeah.
Number 16, I'm surprised he's this low, actually. Mr. Shaquille O'Neal. Anyone got a Shaquille O'Neal impression?
No.
No.
Thank you very much. That's all I got. Where's his? His dominance is at 10.
I feel like his dominance should be like top 5.
Let's see here. He won championships with the Lakers. Won them with the Heat. Took the Magic to the championship game.
Yeah.
Is there anything I'm missing in his repertoire?
Yeah, this little blurb about he's the most dominant player in NBA history. Yes, him. Sorry, Wilt Chamberlain is horseshit. Wilt Chamberlain's the most dominant player. And it's not even close. Shaq has never averaged 50 and 25. Don't even stop.
Wilt Chamberlain, we had this argument.
And Wilt Chamberlain's dominance is a 1. He's the most dominant player ever.
Wilt Chamberlain was in an era that nobody else was tall. And he was the only tall guy out there.
How can you can only judge by who you played against. So he was the best in his era, was he not? He was number 1.
Okay, in his era.
So his dominance was a 1.
No.
Yeah, because no one could stop him.
Nobody could stop Shaq in his era.
His dominance is a 10. They had Wilt like in the 30s.
Okay, but
it doesn't even make sense.
Shaq should have been top 5. And Shaq is the most dominant player in NBA history, sure.
Then how is he the most dominant player in NBA history, but LeBron's dominance is higher at an 8?
LeBron's not finished yet. So you can't
Stop.
say.
You have no argument.
You can't say.
You have no argument. It doesn't even make sense.
It does make sense. You don't make sense. Your jean hat.
I do like this little stat they provided at the bottom. He's got the cheapest, least expensive player-endorsed shoes in NBA history. I guess Stephon Marbury's like $20 shoe doesn't count. I'm pretty sure they cost some.
That's what I was just going to say. The Starbury was way cheaper.
I mean, it did cause some back pain, some knee problems, but maybe that's what they're going off of.
I don't know. Seems like a whole bunch of favoritism towards Shaquille O'Neal, who was not that great.
See that LeBron James said
not that great.
That only the prime Shaq guard him in the post.
Does Kobe win a championship without Shaquille?
Not even a top 10 player all time.
He will be.
You like to keep bringing up Kobe. Does Kobe win a title without Shaquille?
Does Shaq win one without Kobe?
Kobe did win one without Shaq.
Yeah, he won one with Pau, and Shaq won one with Dwayne Wade.
Yeah, so
I guess they can win without each other, but they can win
with each other too.
They win better with each other. Well, my point exactly. Okay, Shaq is on this list at 16, and Kobe could do the same without Shaq, but he's not on the list. Stop.
I don't know if he could do the same.
He's the second best. Sorry, I almost really messed up.
Wow.
The second best 2 guards.
Wow.
Michael Jordan being the first.
There we go. Thank you.
Michael Jordan, shout out. Wow, Venus.
Horrible.
Venus coming in at number 15.
Awful.
Why is this awful?
Serena's like number 1?
Venus ahead of a lot of these people is not good. But her dominance, I get having a high ranking.
Ahead of these people? Like, I mean...
She shouldn't be ahead of Emmett Smith or Shaq. Or
why not? She paved the way for a lot of female tennis athletes.
No, well... Yeah, but Arthur Ashe really paved the way for all black athletes in tennis, male or female.
Okay, but Venus was that new generation. Before Venus, was there any paying attention to women's tennis a lot? Like, she made it mainstream.
Yeah, Steffi Graf was the greatest player ever until Serena came around. People paid attention to Steffi.
I heard Venus before Serena, so...
Yeah, she was older.
Yeah.
I used to get them confused. I used to think that Venus was Serena.
And Serena was Venus?
Yeah. But then I figured it out.
Then you realize one's hot and one's not?
Yeah. Basically.
Was that misogynistic? Shout out to LeVar Ball, I guess.
This is our own version of LeVar Ball right here.
Number 14, recently retired. Usain Bolt retired after his last race this past weekend.
We talked about him last podcast, where he would be, and I'm shocked he's this low.
Actually, after his last race, he should be even higher. He lost his last 100-meter race.
So, you mean like he should? Okay, I see. Higher is
Less dominance.
Correct.
Even though
his dominance is a 4, and he's the fastest man ever. So that makes sense. Why isn't he a 1? Apparently, it's impossible to be a 1.
What does this even mean? 1,000 McDonald's chicken nuggets in 10 days helped fuel Usain Bolt.
He had to eat though. He had to eat that many in 10 days.
What?
So he ate 100 a day.
That's insane.
And he still looks like a twig.
Again, for those of you out there who can't do math, he ate 100 a day in 10 days.
How can you eat McDonald's and be that fast? There's no nutrition in a chicken nugget.
He just needs the massive calorie intake because his metabolism's so crazy.
It's like Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps eats like 9,000 calories.
Exactly. That's what everyone says. How does Floyd Mayweather stay in shape? All he eats is Taco Bell and McDonald's. It's the same thing. It's calorie burn.
Why can't I do that?
Because you got to burn calories. Number 13, Kareem the Dream Abdul-Jabbar.
Had an unblockable shot.
It's fair enough.
Fair enough. I'm okay with all of it. His inspiration, everything. He was another one of those ones that was with Jim Brown and Muhammad Ali for a lot of black activist type stuff.
I saw him consider him to be the greatest of all time. They got to make up their mind. Who's the greatest of all time?
We're getting there.
We can have that debate sometime. I know my dad would argue Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He saw him. He got to watch him play. I've never seen him. I haven't even seen any old games, I think. Yeah, I've just seen highlights, but no actual watching a whole game of his. So I would be a little bit ignorant to speak on him. But I know he'd be in my top 5 just simply for career points, most in NBA history. He had the unblockable shot, skyhook. So he may be the greatest center of all time. I think that's an easier argument.
Next up, number 12, Walter Payton.
This one kind of shocked me.
Why is that?
I think I'd have Emmitt Smith probably higher. But again,
Emmitt did break his record.
Right. And Emmitt has almost every rushing record. But like I said, Emmitt's inspiration and impact on society is lower than Walter Payton, who I think they named the humanitarian award after because of everything that he did.
Yeah.
And impacted and did for his community. So I understand. I guess I thought they should be closer. Let's put it that way. I guess it's okay that Walter's ahead, but maybe a little bit. Move Emmitt up a little.
Yeah, I think it's just Walter Payton's other stuff. His humanitarian efforts.
And number 11, Magic Johnson.
Yeah, he's decent. I mean,
he's one of those ones. I mean, what do you want us to say? He was another debatable. Some people think he's the greatest of all time.
I'd like to see where the top 10 is before I say, well, he deserves to be higher.
Right.
I feel like this might be just where he belongs, though.
Now that I've seen the top 40, I could probably make a good guess at who is top 10. I just couldn't put them in order because this list is whacked.
So
Muhammad Ali,
Jordan. Jackie Robinson, Jordan,
Jackie Robinson,
Jesse Owens. Well, who are some other basketball players? The other ones. Maybe I can name them all.
Serena's in there.
Serena, there you go. I'm probably not giving enough credit to the female athletes. There's probably another one.
Maybe a female Lisa Leslie, maybe?
Yeah.
She's like, I feel like a big part of like the WNBA, like getting the WNBA off the ground.
Yeah, but who watches the WNBA other than Corey?
I mean, Brittany Griner's in there?
Dominance.
First dunk.
Dominating her girlfriend.
Lisa Leslie was the first dunk, actually.
Yeah, she was.
In college.
Lisa Leslie probably should be up there,
I feel like
honestly.
she should be. Maybe number 10.
And she dominates the Olympics. How many does she have? 4? I think 4 gold medal. That's insane.
Well, Usain Bolt's got 8, and look at where he is.
Yeah, Bolt Schmolt. He just lost.
Yeah.
Maybe Justin Gatlin should be in the
Well,
top
to be
10.
fair, he lost to someone that was recently suspended for PEDs, so...
Gatlin?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Gatlin's inching close to 40, so he needs him.
So, the final 10 are released tomorrow. Corey, are you going to wait until next podcast?
Yeah, I like being surprised.
Okay.
I'm curious because I can only name 5 that might deserve to be in the top 10. I thought I could name 10. There's got to be some football players I'm forgetting too. Like, what about Doug Williams being the first African-American quarterback to win a Super Bowl?
Stefan, do you want to throw who you think?
I'm trying to think of some other football players.
Russell Wilson's been there quite a few times, like twice right now.
I think he'd be up this
What
high.
about Warren Moon? Has he been on the
That's what
system?
I was thinking, Warren Moon.
And, well, Randall Cunningham and impact as far because he was
Warren
like the
Moon
runner.
and Randall Cunningham, maybe one of them makes it up there.
No Vic.
No, because Vic is
Oh, he did have an impact on society that was pretty high.
very negative impact, yeah.
What about Kaepernick? I think his impact could be debatable whether it's negative or positive.
Positive.
Well, it's negative to his career, apparently.
Yeah, it's negative to his career. McNabb, no.
No. Wide receivers, though? Like, what about Jerry Rice?
Did T.O. come up anywhere?
No.
What about Jerry Rice, the greatest
Jerry
receiver?
Rice.
Jerry Rice.
Is definitely. Jerry Rice is up there.
Trying to
Jerry
think.
Rice is in there. I can't believe T.O. didn't make the list at all.
No.
If he's not in the top 10. I mean,
He's
there's no
not
way
gonna-
he's in the top
No,
10.
it's got to be Jerry, though.
Jerry Rice has to be in the top 10.
So we got Jerry, Serena, Jordan, Jackie, Jesse
Muhammad.
Owens, Muhammad Ali. Maybe one of those quarterbacks we named.
Maybe. Lisa Leslie, maybe.
Lisa, maybe. Allen Iverson should be up there, but
Sammy Sosa?
he's white now.
Yeah.
What other sports are there even? We get like a cricket player? Is there, like,
Did we already have
famous
Tiger?
black?
No, we haven't had Tiger yet.
He'll be up there.
Pre.
Yeah, but he just for dominance. I mean, you know,
I'm not arguing it.
That might be your one.
that might be number 10 as far as
No, but I
Who's
mean for
next?
dominance.
yeah.
I think Muhammad Ali or Jordan's going to be number 1 for dominance. And number 1 overall.
Well, Jordan is the GOAT, so.
That's what I'm saying.
Is
And
he though?
Muhammad Ali is arguably
Corey,
the GOAT.
we're on the same team. Come on.
I know. I know. I do think he's the GOAT, but I understand some other. I think there's a handful of players you could argue that are up there.
LeBron.
No current
No.
player is up there. You heard Michael Jordan say Kobe's better than LeBron, so the GOAT just nullified it.
That doesn't mean anything.
The GOAT nullified LeBron's
That
greatness.
doesn't mean anything.
And he said he could beat LeVar Ball one-legged, by the way.
Okay. That I believe.
When the GOAT speaks,
The ceiling is the roof.
It's the roof. Oh, Jesus. I think once he said that, like, I've lost all respect for him.
How dare you? You must respect your
Jordan's a
senior
numbers
citizens.
guy. He always has been. He's about his money.
Karl Malone didn't make the list. Maybe he's in there.
Maybe the greatest power forward ever, arguably.
Could be up there.
I mean, I think
Never won a title,
I think Tim
though.
Duncan's better than him as far as power forwards go. But,
Yeah, he probably didn't make the list.
and Tim Duncan was number 50, which is
Carmelo never won a title either.
no.
No
He,
offense. That
and he tried to team up with Shaq, and he still couldn't do it.
still can't do it.
Shaq and Kobe, right?
Yeah. I don't know if it was both. It might
Wasn't
have
it
been
Gary
Kobe.
Payton, Shaq, Kobe, Karl Malone, and then probably
Might have been
Robert Horry?
It might have been after Shaq left. Maybe it was Kobe, Gary Payton. Oh, well,
Big Shot Bob.
Shot Bob. Derek Fisher.
Fish. I don't know, man. I guess I can't come up with 10, so it'll be interesting.
Big Poppy.
Big Poppy. Ugh. What about Barry Bonds and Hank Aaron?
What about
Shouldn't Hank Aaron be on there, the all-time home run leader?
Pedro Martinez?
Well, that people recognize. People don't recognize Bonds breaking it.
Manny Ramirez.
Without an asterisk, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, I do, because growing up, Barry Bonds was my favorite player, but a lot of people think...
Manny
he kicked-
Ramirez, why would he be on this list this high?
Stefan's just throwing people out there. He's gonna say Larry Bird next. Just wait for it.
Again? Second time's a charm.
Maybe Jason Williams. He was white chocolate.
White
About as close to black as you get.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's jump
Hey,
in.
is it Pele black?
He was on the list, I thought.
Was he?
Yeah, he was.
Did we already get him?
I already exited out of that, so I can't pull it up.
All right. Guess we're done talking about it.
I
All
think-
right, move on to the next
yeah.
topic.
Well, I do. Why am I the only one that has to research? Why don't you keep your shit open?
Mine is open still. I just didn't want to look it up
Yeah, well then.
for Pele.
Oh, for Pele. All right. Doing a quick recap.
Yeah, he's right there, 22.
Now that I can see them all together, I just am reminded how awful this list is. Okay. Greatest receivers of all time, like wide receivers of all time. The only one on the list is Larry Fitzgerald. Do we really put him in like a top 3, top 5 situation?
Randy Moss?
That's what I'm saying. Really? Larry Fitzgerald? That's when I was arguing.
Calvin Johnson?
I was arguing that way back when, and you guys said I was crazy. No other people are even there's
Okay, well, I expected more of them to show up. They didn't.
so it's crazy.
Michael Irving?
Why is Herschel Walker even on this list? Come on, get him off.
Why not?
Because he's not relevant compared to a lot of these other people.
It's a great argument. Not relevant.
Well, if you impacted society, you should have some kind of relevance,
Relevance?
which Herschel Walker has none.
It's a great running back.
I don't even think people have him in their top 10.
Oh, all right.
Name 10 running backs.
Okay, I'll name them right here. Walter Payton, Emmitt Smith, Gale Sayers, Bo Jackson, Jim Brown, Earl Campbell, Barry Sanders, LaDainian Tomlinson, Adrian Peterson. Who else would I put up there that's more recent? I don't know. Terrell Davis. I think are all better than Herschel Walker.
You think Terrell Davis is better than Herschel Walker?
Yes. The Broncos don't win those Super Bowls without him. John Elway was washed at that point. Washed.
What? Shannon Sharp had nothing to do with it. John Elway.
John Elway didn't have much to do with it.
Did you see that dive, spin, helicopter?
Yeah, okay.
That's not washed up.
That's washed up.
That's not washed
He
up.
took a hit.
That's not washed
Yeah,
up.
and scored a touchdown.
If you're
look at
washed up, you don't make that.
Look
you
at
don't
John
make that
Elway's
dive.
stats. It's comparable to Peyton Manning's last Super Bowl. Are we all going to sit here and argue Peyton Manning's the reason the Broncos won? No. He's not the reason the Broncos won.
Broncos would have won without him.
Yes.
With who?
Tim Tebow.
Brock.
Stop.
Yeah,
Brock.
Tim Tebow. There you go. He could have filled in.
There's a reason he switched sports.
Peyton was not that great in the Super Bowl. He wasn't that good.
He was on a decline, yeah.
And so was Elway. It was his last 2 years.
Okay, and they won Super Bowls.
Yeah, but they didn't need him.
What do you mean they didn't need him?
No.
He scored the
They didn't need him.
game-winning touchdown off of a run.
They didn't need him. Terrell Davis is the main reason they won. And that offensive line. Actually, the offensive line's the main reason they won.
It wasn't
give
Terrell
you the
Davis.
offensive line. Because the offensive line keeps Elway up, plus it helps Terrell Davis.
Right. That's what. It's the offensive line.
Offensive line is always the unsung hero.
That's why the Cowboys and the Raiders are going to win the Super Bowl in the next few years. They're the two best O-lines.
I don't care.
They're going to win.
How many years in a row does Cowboys have the best offensive line?
They finally got a quarterback. I think Romo sucks compared to...
Stop it. Stop it right now. You need to be slapped. I need to slap some sense into you.
How drafting Tony Romo...
Okay, well, if he stayed healthy, he would have been great.
Yeah. So he sucks because he can't stay on the field.
Dak Prescott had the easiest job in the world.
He sucks
He's
because
successful.
And he didn't even do that great. He did decent.
He only threw 4 picks.
How many touchdowns?
I don't know. In the 20s. We can look that up.
Can look
Mid-20s.
it up.
It's not like substantial. You're right.
I know.
But 25 to 4? That's not a bad ratio.
I think he had more than 400 touchdowns.
23 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, passer rating 104.9. But when he faced a tough defense, he tend to struggle a lot too, though.
I felt like he only struggled with the Giants for whatever reason.
He struggled with Tampa Bay in the second half.
He's a rookie. This is his first year. What's Romo's rookie year look like?
Everybody was talking shit about Wentz.
You're just throwing names out there. I didn't say Wentz was bad.
No, I didn't say you did, but I'm saying other people.
I have nothing wrong with Wentz.
I'm
just saying make it rain. I think he's better. I think he might be able to do
Wait,
better.
I didn't know his name was Rain.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Make it rain.
I really did not know.
I did not know that either.
My team name was Make It Rain this year.
No, I thought his name was Dak. I thought that was his name.
My team name in our fantasy league was Make It Rain.
When?
Go look. I
Your
switched
name
it.
was never Make It Rain.
I did something like Make It Rain.
No.
Go look at it.
I don't need to go look at it. I know my league. I know every move that is made.
He knows his league. He has spoken. Tony Romo's rookie year, he didn't play his first 2 years. His first year as a starter, he went 19 for 13 with a passer rating of 95.1.
Okay, so Dak was better.
But here's the thing: does Dak continue on this? You really believe Dak is going to continue doing this?
I'm thinking about
Remember when? Let's talk about this. Remember when Nick Foles went 27-2, his first year starting,
he was filthy.
And then what happened after that?
They got rid of all of his assets.
But they also
blew up the team. They did.
Teams also have film on them after that.
They blew up the team,
and that wasn't the year they blew up the team.
Well, there was tension
when
because Deshaun wasn't.
When Bradford came in, that's when they blew up the team.
What year was it? Was when Romo was crying on the goal line?
Every year.
Actual goal line, not when he was injured on the sideline.
I don't know.
I don't know how many times do you change your team name like 15 times.
It says Make It Rain, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't. I'm gonna pull it. I haven't even pulled it up yet, but I know
I change it every year to a player on my team.
Okay, so you.
It was Slaughterhouse. I think it was Make It Rain this year.
I will. What do you want to bet?
I don't know.
I haven't even looked it up yet. I have not pulled it up.
I don't want to bet anything. I think that's what it was.
Hold on, I got it.
No, I'm pulling it up. I just want to make a bet before I pull it up.
Something like that.
No, it was nothing like that.
It was nothing like that, Corey.
Dak to the future.
Dak to the future.
Okay. Had nothing to do with rain.
Make it rain.
So I get a beer.
I guess we know what Corey's team name is going to be this year.
I might not keep him. He was my last pick of the draft.
I wouldn't keep him. He's gonna be a bust this year.
He's on your bust list. That's what we got to do that at some point.
That's my bust.
Your bust. All right, coming later in this podcast. Let's
My
get.
bust is Tom Brady. I think he's way
You're a
overrated.
fucking idiot. You are an idiot. A bona fide idiot. You're out of the league just for saying that.
I think Tom Brady's like not even top.
Just go away.
Not even top.
You're off the podcast. You're out of the league.
Whoa! He's
Bill
always.
Belichick is top 5. Tom Brady. And
I'm calling the shots now, Kevin. All right.
Corey, you're always welcome on this show.
Thanks.
I'm starting my own podcast.
The
then.
most prepared on the show.
If it wasn't
usually.
for me, who wouldn't get this argument going? You need me to get you heated.
Why would you say something stupid like that? At least mine makes sense. Yours makes zero sense. This is an unproven quarterback. Tom Brady has proven it time and time again.
I'm just kidding.
I know you are, but it still pisses me off.
I still think Dak's better than Romo.
Dak, I guarantee you, at the end of both of these careers, Romo will have the better career. Maybe not playoff
Based on
wins
what?
wise.
Right. So who cares about stats?
Hey!
What do you mean? Who cares about stats?
Hey!
Stats only matters in baseball.
Stats matter in everything.
No, they don't.
It matters for your individual accomplishments.
It's a team sport.
Okay.
So if he wins
How would you compare somebody?
if he wins some Super Bowls,
How
we're gonna say, Romo was better because he just killed it in passing yards.
I'm about ready to mute you guys. Save football for the end of the podcast. Jesus.
All right.
Let's get through this. Let's get through this. All
Are we
right.
going to football now, anyways?
Might as well.
I
Jesus.
told Matt to call us around 7, so you gotta waste about 15 more minutes.
All right. So let's get through this.
Fucking argue some more.
God.
This is turning into the best podcast.
Yeah. Well, let's throw out our final golf predictions of the year with
we got
PGA
golf.
Championship heading to Quail Hollow, North Carolina.
It's my favorite golf course.
You guys have yet to pick a winning golfer over me. And by winning, I mean score higher.
Which
Better.
is really sad because I follow golf really close. So
I should have gone with my heart last time. I went with my number 5 on my top 5 list, Matt Kuchar. The Cooch.
You should have
The Cooch.
gone with the Cooch. Grab the Cooch.
The Cooch grabbing the Coochie. All right.
Who everybody decided, what are you talking about? This is the worst top 5 ever.
I think that's your an impression of you, Kevin. I do not.
It's actually a combined impression of both your voices. Fucking Cooch.
Well, we sound like a Sesame Street character.
You know, it's nice that we're all riled up today.
These are gonna be great when Matt gets out.
Yeah.
Nice and ready.
It's just stewing all inside me right now.
I need to take a time out and get a third beer.
Jeez.
Usually 2 beers last me, but I might need this third one.
I'm halfway through this
He's
second one
My
already.
nerves.
Once you said Tom Brady wasn't that good, I lost.
All right, so with me winning the last one as well, I get first pick, and I'm picking the course record holder, Rory McIlroy. He's also the favorite. He went through a caddy change, but I'm not scared. He won his first PGA Tour event there, May 2010, and has also won in 2015. So,
Man.
gentlemen.
You just mentioned again that you won last time.
So
And the
I've
time
won.
before that.
I won last time, and I won the time before that. So going for the sweep, the trifecta. Next year it'll be the quadruple fecta.
Sweep these nuts.
I did like how Matt says, "I call it now."
What? What did he say?
He said, "I call in now." All right. So it's up to you two.
I'm gonna go with. I feel like Dustin Johnson's due. I'm gonna go with Dustin.
I'm going with Adam Scott.
Should have gone with Cooch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a one and done thing.
Yeah.
He won't pull that out.
I don't know. How many top 20 finishes has he had? That was crazy. He's high up on that. Probably a safe pick is the Cooch.
The Cooch. Why don't you go with Cooch?
I just can't.
I just don't think he's gonna repeat number 2 overall.
Adam Scott is my golf man crush, so I'm going with him.
Adam Scott's 33-1 odds too.
Dustin Johnson is just my my absolute crush.
I mean, Kuchar is 45-1.
I would have sexual relations with Dustin Johnson.
I thought you would have sexual relations with Kuchar, but
Yeah.
Adam Scott's 5-1. Is that what you said?
No, 33 to 1.
33 to 1. I was a little off.
What's Rory's?
Rory is 7-1.
Oh, I was going to say 15 to 1.
Where's
Okay,
Dustin?
7 to 1.
Dustin is 9-1.
All right.
All right.
Feel good.
So I'm
about
picking
that.
the long shot, but it's okay.
We'll see how that works out.
I didn't
Also,
go with my boy Ricky this time.
Because you guys said you wanted to get into soccer, I'm making you make a Premier League pick every week now.
Did you say? Did you say you want to get into soccer?
Yeah. You
Yeah.
did.
Oh.
It's on record.
Right after I said Ricky Fowler wasn't finishing in the top 10. Now we would like to get into soccer.
You want to bet on that? No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to bet on that. Not
I want my
betting
beer
on
back.
that. That was not a bet.
The Premier League kicks off this weekend, and I'm going to make you guys pick Man United versus West Ham.
That's right, man.
Game's on Sunday. I believe it's 11 o'clock your time.
This is the finals?
No, this is the season opener.
Then why isn't Arsenal playing?
That's why they are playing, but
But you said I couldn't pick that.
I'm picking one game
He's
a
picking
week.
a game for us to pick. Every
Pay
week.
attention. Get off of whatever you're on.
You don't need any more of those heinies. No more heinies for you.
I'm like LeVar Ball. I want all the heinies.
You've had too many heinies. Samantha, we're talking about beer.
Well, Stefan is.
Pretty sure she's the only one left watching.
I was gonna say, I hope she is watching. Side note: Corey's not allowed to do the podcast anymore.
This is Corey's last episode.
Corey's last episode.
Hope you guys enjoyed it. I've been trying to put on a show.
All runs got to come to an end.
I'll see you never.
Oh, so you want us to pick?
Yeah.
Man U 3-1.
So we can go to our fantasy football talk again. Man U 3-1, Corey.
I'm gonna say Man U 2-0. 2-0.
Going 1-1 draw.
Oh, does this guy even watch
I
soccer?
don't think he watches soccer.
All right, on to football. I'm waiting for Matt to send a text so I can call him.
Did you respond to his "Can I call in"?
Yes.
Well, he's got to call him. Remember?
Oh, okay. You got to call him. All right.
Yeah. So he texted him.
So let's set the stage while we're waiting.
Sure.
What? Matt started in our fantasy league last year?
Correct.
He did pretty well.
Pretty well.
Final four.
Made to the finals.
Oh, all the way to
All the way
against
to
Sean. He
finals.
was the final.
Yeah.
Oh. That's what I said yesterday, but no one listens.
What do you mean nobody listens? God. You know what the funny thing is? Here's what happened.
I said Sean was gonna won last year.
What did
No
I-
one listened.
I know, but what did I tell you? I said that Gary won, right?
Yeah.
Because, and I
Matt texting me now that he's good to go, so whenever. But okay.
I don't have his number though.
thought he texted you. That doesn't pop up the number. Or
Do
did
you-
he comment on the Facebook?
Do you
He
need his
commented
number?
on the Facebook, yeah.
Tell him to text that number. Or
I did tell him. You want the numbers, Kevin?
Just send it to me.
Okay, so people on air can't call Matt randomly. Which would be funny.
yeah, that would be more funny.
So his number is
Anyways, back to my story while you're doing this.
Okay.
So I'm at the gym with one Mr. Gary, who is in our fantasy football league, and this is where me and Corey were having this argument yesterday that I said, "Oh, Gary won the fantasy football last year? And he goes, no. He goes, Sean won. And I go, what? I was like, no, Gary won. He goes, no, Sean won. He's like, I'll bet you anything. And Sean won. So I was like, all right. So I looked it up. Sure enough, Sean won. And then today I'm at the gym with Gary, and we're talking about it, and I'm like, dude, you didn't win. And he goes, yeah, I did. I won. He's like, look it up. And I go, no, you didn't win. He didn't even make the semifinals. He lost like the round before that. Like, I don't know. The year before that, he won.
No, it was me and Kevin and Matt and Sean. That was the semis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or that was, we played for third place, Kevin.
But I don't
that
know.
was the
Like, I
final.
don't know what. But like, Gary like sold me because I went golf. I was in this golf tournament with him on Saturday. And he like sold me on the fact that he won. And Sean was there, and I think Sean even bought it. Like, it was just like we were all just like, oh, okay, Gary won. But I don't know. I was just so confused.
All right, there we go.
But regardless, Gary didn't win.
Gary didn't win. All right, let's see.
Oh, you got it?
Here we go.
Are we going to be able to hear
Hello there.
Hello.
It sounds like it. Hey, big boy.
Hold on a second.
Hey, how's it going?
They can't hear you, so I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah, I can hear
we
him.
can hear him.
Without them getting in the way.
We can hear you, Matt.
Sounds good.
Sounds
Maybe
good.
Kevin can't. Kevin, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Well, we can hear him.
I don't know if you can hear you.
Or are you
I
saying
can hear
like,
all you guys, so.
You hear everyone? All right. Wow. Technology. You're our second caller ever, with Stefan being the first one, so it's taking some time getting used to.
Sounds good.
All right. So, this is actually the first time I've ever heard of Matt's voice.
Heard of it or heard it?
Is it just like you dreamed?
No, it's not. It's worse.
He actually thought you had no voice. So this is kind of a weird thing.
He's kind of shocked.
Oh, I know he has a voice because I've heard of his complaints before. I wanted to go over a couple things. I pulled up a list.
Oh boy.
And the one that's
Matt, prepare yourself.
Matt, prepare for talk about the trade offer.
I was wondering if that was going to come up.
guys are taking all the wind out of my
Kevin, you have
sails
the
here.
floor. Go. You got the
well,
floor, Kevin.
I looked up a list on ESPN, and it says, don't bombard owners with ridiculous trade offers. Matt, can you describe the trade offer you made to me last year in your first year?
It was a long time ago. It's hard for me to recall this. I honestly think I asked about maybe David Johnson, but that's about all I recall.
Yeah, that's all I recall too, because the other two players were garbage. And I think
sure you offered Jonathan Stewart and Brandon Cooks, though.
It sounds about right. All I know is they had 4 points at that point, and I had the top scorer for running back in the NFL. Fantasy
Well, I'll let
wise.
Matt defend it, because that's actually that's defendable.
Well, my argument to that would have been that they had a lot more points to gain left on their schedule, and if you average it all out through the season, like they started off poorly, but
Well, one of
going
them
by
was
their average
suspended
season,
for
they
4
would have
games.
so many more points to earn back at the end of the second half of the season. So that was my justification for it.
All right. How many other trade offers did you make, though, at that same point in time as well? Because I know of at least one more ridiculous trade offer. I don't remember the details. I just remember seeing it.
You don't remember the details? How do you know it was ridiculous?
Because it wasn't to me. It was to another player in the league.
Well, how do you know it was ridiculous? You can't remember the trade details.
No one likes trade happy people.
I think it's fine. I have no problem with somebody who wanted to make trades. At least he's trying to make moves. Everybody's like afraid to make trades. He's not afraid to make trades.
Matt, what's the?
I was
can
happy
you
with
tell
my
us the one trade that went through with
It was with Stefan,
Sean's
wasn't
dad
it?
there, Team Clancy.
Yeah, I traded Sam Bradford and something else for an injured Rob Gronkowski at the time, but he only had one quarterback in a 2-quarterback league, and he was a Vikings fan.
Took advantage of the opportunity.
All right, my next problem. Stefan, who's the one that complained about the way the draft was set up?
I don't know. I didn't know anybody was complaining about it. Explain. Give me more details. I honestly don't remember.
Someone didn't like the fact that I drafted David Johnson and then drafted Drew Brees.
Right, you had. Well, there's Matt. Well, I'll even admit Matt and I had a problem with you having 1st and 13th pick. That's not fair. Matt will admit
that is true.
Why is that not fair? That the worst player
gets number 1 and number 13?
Yeah, why not?
Because that's what makes you the worst player.
My record.
You had the worst record.
Yeah.
You aren't the worst player.
It gives me good luck the next year. What's wrong with that?
Clancy had Ezekiel Elliott and Julio Jones and managed to not do anything. That is the worst player. Sorry, whoever you are.
So what we're saying is, because of the way that ESPN works, is that your keepers. So you didn't keep anybody, correct, Kevin?
No, I did not.
Right. So the way that ESPN works is that if you don't keep anybody, you have this. Anybody who didn't keep somebody gets to pick before everybody gets to pick. And this is why we're now switching to Yahoo, because I don't like that. And
oh yeah, Matt, by the way, the league is officially going to happen. Stefan
Yahoo.
said he is going to do the Yahoo League.
Yeah, I sent you an email, by the way.
He sent out emails and everything.
Yeah,
I gave him your VT.
And by the way, Kevin, you did keep Drew Brees last year as the number 1 overall pick.
Oh, there you go.
So he didn't get. So how did you get 1 and 13? That doesn't make any sense.
Because your keeper counted as the 1st overall pick.
So the keeper league, the way it was set up, everyone kept that player in the first round, or picked someone new.
So you kept Drew Brees.
Mm-hmm.
So you would have had first pick, and then you would have had the snake draft, which you would have had the last pick of the second round. So you did not get 1st and 13. So I don't know who's saying you got 1st and 13, because that doesn't work that way. The only way is if you count the keeper round, you could have gotten the first pick, and then the first pick in the first round of when the snake draft starts.
And that's how ESPN considers it. They consider the keeper round its own supplemental draft, if you would.
Right.
So that goes off first, and then it starts the snake draft again.
So what you're saying is he got Drew Brees and David Johnson. That's what you're upset about? Or we're upset about?
Well, the issue is that the value between, for instance, whoever picked the 12th pick of the keeper round had the 12th and the 24th pick overall, where Kevin had the 1st and the 13th. Obviously, it's way better to have the 1st and the 13th, so it wasn't exactly fair for everyone. So
right. But here's
Kevin
the other
should
thing
have won the league because he had the best odds starting out with the first 2 rounds. He had the best talent to choose from.
Right. The snake draft didn't start till after the keeper round. That's how ESPN works it. It's
right. That's what we're saying. That's why I had 1st and 13.
Right.
Right.
I get what you're saying.
Okay.
But I thought you were saying like he had a pick and then he got the pick. I didn't realize you were talking about his keeper was his first pick.
Yeah.
And I did win the league. I just didn't win the playoffs.
You didn't win the league.
I didn't win the playoffs.
Your regular season.
You didn't win the league, so let's just stop that talk.
Does anyone ever remember the regular season champions?
No, nobody remembers the regular season
No.
champion.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Just as many times as I remember both of you beating me.
I did beat you in the playoffs.
I said both. And Corey, nothing but love for you.
I'm pretty sure I played you in a bad bye week for me where I had like all my really good players on bye, so I was playing some backups that weren't very good. But
Either
you
was
would have beat me probably anyways.
Yeah. I remember being worried because I didn't have Johnson in my starting lineup either, so I was a little nervous.
Let's just put it out there that I was Kevin's arch nemesis until you offered him that trade, and now you have officially become his arch nemesis
in fantasy football.
Good to hear. I needed something.
You guys aren't in the same division this year.
No, we weren't in the same division last year either.
No.
I'm always
That
going
didn't
to.
stop me last year, did it?
If he starts looking like he's in first place, I'm dropping to last place in the Champions League because I don't want to face him twice in 1 year.
This is an excuse for sucking this year. He's just gonna call that out right now. Like,
if I start off 5-0 and then I go 5-7 or however many regular season games we're playing this year,
you could just say you suck. Like you had one good year and then you sucked after that.
Hey, Stefan, when was the last time you beat me? How about that? When's the last time you put up a quality fantasy football team? Yeah.
I actually had a good team last
I actually
year.
saved the record, but it's been a while.
But let's talk about how many points I had against me. Let's talk about that I have no control over. Can we talk about that? Yeah, the highest amount of points by like 100 at least.
You know, Matt saved all the stats for us, so we have that going.
Yeah,
he's starting to.
I'm looking it up right now.
So just with that, you know, you guys are starting to. The only thing my other issue with you is that you signed up for our fantasy league for baseball, and then you dropped out because there was only 4 of us.
I don't
to be perfectly honest,
right now.
baseball, I have another league that is actually for some jelly beans. So and that already takes up a lot of my time. So I didn't really want to have to worry about 2 leagues.
I don't think you really have to worry about our league. Everyone makes the playoffs.
Bigger animal.
This guy puts a lot of effort into fantasy. That's what you don't understand. Like he puts a lot of time, a lot of effort. So
I mean, Corey's dominating us right now, and
yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Matt in the draft.
Matt, where are my helpful hints? My team is absolutely god awful.
You never asked.
Apparently we have to ask for tips from.
Yeah.
He can be our fantasy guru. How about that? If he wins this year, you're our official fantasy expert.
Well, his first year he made it to the finals. So
yes.
He's obviously doing something right.
My first year I won.
And then what happened the next year?
That's true, he did.
No, the next year you were awful, I think.
No, the second year I was decent. Wasn't it the third year I did best? I only draft Bengals players, and then my team blew.
I think that was my first year because I remember that. I'm going, why the hell is this guy drafting only Bengals players?
Matt, wasn't my second year still decent?
Yeah, I can go back and look at that real quick. What was your first year in it? Do you remember what year that was?
No, I know my team was Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Yeah.
Because I told you if I draft Aaron Rodgers, I guarantee I will win a fantasy football league, and that happened.
I drafted him last year.
Give me a couple minutes.
I can't help what else you drafted.
Frank Gore.
All right. So you won it in 2012, and
that was
the
your
next
first
year in 2013, you lost in. You were the number 2 seed going into the playoffs, but lost in the second round of the playoffs to Gary.
So, not great in playoffs.
No. But I was second best team.
That's like Kevin being
that was like me.
It's like Kevin being the best team all year and not being able to.
I know I've finished close to top 4, except.
Hey, I made it to the semis. That's all that matters.
Listen, you were in the bottom division at one point.
Because you put me there.
Because you were one of the worst teams when I started doing that.
Did I quickly get out of there? First year?
Well,
Well, it's only been going 2 years. So.
Yeah, we've only been doing the division.
Okay. Well, now I have some competition in the division with Matt in there. I'm not worried about you.
You're not worried about me?
Wow.
Dan's in our division, too.
Not worried about Dan.
Dan had an off year. Dan's usually a pretty solid team.
Dan actually had solid players. I don't know what happened. He had Le'Veon Bell and Derek Carr.
Stefan, may I circle back to your points against argument there?
Yeah.
You had 1,965 points against you. The next closest person had 1,830. So you did outscore. You had at least 100 more points against you than the next closest person. So that was pretty unlucky.
Literally every team I played had their best. Even Kevin Clancy, who had the worst record, had like a phenomenal week against me. And I was just like, what is going on with me?
I think my favorite week was the first week. Just going to say that.
Why? Did you play Stefan first week?
Yeah, it was like 209 to 112 or something like that.
Like the first 2 weeks, I think I had like over 175 points like each game scored against me.
Nice.
It's just awful.
I remember I enjoyed playing you because I knew my team was going to go off.
Everybody enjoyed playing me. Whenever you played me, you were getting a good week. Guaranteed. Didn't matter how terrible your team was.
Maybe
Corey beat you in week 2, 143 to 125. That one's a little more respectable.
Yeah, but I mean, still like 125 even in that league is like a decent score.
And then I wallop Corey.
150 is normally like the high score of the week.
Yeah.
I wallop Corey in week 3 though, so.
Yeah, I shot my load against Stefan.
209 to 72. All right. So I've aired my beef. Let's talk about some other do's and don'ts before we go on to some busts and whatnot with you, Matt.
First off, I don't know why you're like making the do's and don'ts. It's not even your league, so.
I'm not doing this. This is ESPN.
Well, we're not on ESPN anymore.
Well, whatever. Just make sure you're on time for your draft. No one likes to wait for the thing to go to auto draft, because that's just annoying.
Be plenty of auto drafts, I'm sure.
Middle fingers to everyone that doesn't set it to auto draft.
Marco get drunk and forget that the draft happened.
I'll fall asleep.
Complain about his team.
They complain he has one quarterback.
I fell asleep during one draft. I think was another.
They'll be like Brock Osweiler.
Mark will end up with 7 running backs and one quarterback that's on injured or reserve.
Another issue was never quit. We have some people that tend to drop out after they start sucking. So just realize you're affecting the whole league if you don't change your bye players.
I don't think anyone has quit in our league.
I don't think anybody drops out, really. Gary dropped out of the playoffs because he thought he lost the first week, and then
I feel like Mark sometimes does too.
Mark just kind of forgets sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes Mark doesn't change his team, like his lineup.
It's not necessarily that he quits; he just has a short-term memory.
He's a Bucks fan, though. Ease up on him.
I.e., he's smoking a little something and just forgets.
Oh,
probably.
that Mark?
Yeah, that Mark.
All right, he's okay. He's okay by me.
He's okay. Yeah, he's a Bucks fan. You can't hate on him.
I can't hate on him. Me and him have had some deep defensive talks about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, so I can't hate on him. Don't bombard. Yeah, we already talked about that. Don't collude. Have we ever had any cases of collusion?
We did, but it was before your time.
Well, you might have, but you don't know.
I was going to say, I joined pretty early in this league, so.
Not that early, though. Actually, there was a time
3 years into
my brother was the commissioner.
Oh.
And
he who shall not be named
until he
who has no name. And him and his significant other, who is also in the league, they had a trade go down.
What's up, Colleen?
They had a trade go down, and I didn't agree with it, and I had some agreements in the trade. That was a long time ago, so I cannot tell you the details of the trade, but
Tom Brady for like.
At that point, I decided that I'm going to be the commissioner, and so I started my own league, and that's the story of how I'm in charge now. I let my brother have. I let him have like co-commissioner responsibilities sometimes.
Just throw it out there, make him feel good about himself.
When I get lazy.
Another one is don't take forever to respond to your ridiculous trade offer.
That's one thing I did appreciate, that you were very prompt with no.
Fuck you.
It's worse when you have people who don't respond back at all. So
I believe
thank
it
you
was
for
my
being
exact
prompt.
sentiment when I saw that pop up. I was like, fuck you.
I kind of got that from your next few messages, yeah.
Yeah.
All I remember is Matt like messaging me, and he was like, "I don't think Kevin likes me." I was like, "Yeah, I've already heard he doesn't like you. Sorry."
It's true. Everyone needs a Dwight, and I guess Matt's mine. And for those that have pay league, this is a fun league too. God, I could only imagine if this was for money. Make your league payment on time.
Let's not talk about that, because it's never going to get to that point. Unfortunately,
I could only imagine. All right, so
everyone didn't live everywhere. You could make it a money league.
No, you can make it a money league.
You
but
could
there's people that don't want to be in a money league.
Yeah, I've recommended like, hey, let's throw in a couple dollars for a belt or something. Jeez.
Yeah, that's what
I think we should do a
You
belt.
recommend making it money league?
However much a belt, divide it by whatever. I want to feel special. I want to
By
wear
3.
a belt.
Well, here's the thing:
Divided by 4,
do you
5.
just-
The
do you
people that
just-
might pay for it.
Here's the thing. We can talk about this right now, since there's 4 of us here. It's like a
Apparently, Gary agrees too. By the way,
no, it's a third.
Nice.
It's even more than a quarter.
Yeah, 4 times 3 is 12. Keep going.
Trying to get our math on par here.
Yeah, okay, no.
Okay.
For those who can't do math.
So all right. So let's talk about this. We could do a belt or something like that, of that nature. But do you want to do something of that nature? Just buy one, and that's it, or do you want to buy a new one every year, where the person gets to like keep it?
I'd like to just buy one and pass it around. Just like
Pass
put
it
it on
around.
your shelf. You don't have to, because people, let's be honest, are probably only going to put up the initial cost, and then you're never going to get it again.
No, right.
The people in our league.
Yeah, I think you're only going to get one and then just pass it around. And even maybe, I don't know if you can engrave belts or not, but that
would
might be going a
Well,
bit
you
too
can.
far.
Engrave the year
I
on
think
it.
you can. I mean, there's a 25% chance it'll be in the background of one of ours during the podcast too.
It's true. I would wear it every day, every single podcast. I would wear it.
We're going to be waiting a long time for that, so don't worry.
I know. I'm never going to win, so.
Stefan, when was the last time you had a winning record in your league?
I've had winning records, so go fuck yourself.
No. I said last time.
Yeah, I thought you had.
Last time, though.
I have
Has Kevin?
won it.
Yeah. I
Kevin,
went
you won
12-1 last year.
Oh, have you won
No,
the league?
have you won the league?
Oh, no, never.
Okay. I wasn't sure. Stefan said he has before.
Not since I've been in the league, because I would have been pissed.
I can verify Stefan has won the league before.
Oh, there we go.
What year?
Now I have to go back and check.
You know, I like the fact that he knows all this, and he's only been in 1 year. His respect's
Well, it's because I
starting to...
saved all the information so that it wouldn't get lost, just in case.
My respect is
That
going
happened to
up.
what a football league that I was in, and that wasn't very fun.
Oh, yeah, Mark won it the very first year. We did
And then never again.
Never.
That was his first year in the league. It's
Cinderella
something about,
story.
like, people's first year in the league, they just do like phenomenal.
That's not true. Mine was terrible.
All right, well, you just suck.
Says the guy that hasn't beat me since like 2011.
I haven't won again, but at least I've shown consistency.
Well, you had that 1 year where you were not good because you ended up in the bottom division.
Okay, I mean, even the Patriots had a down year before. It
When?
happens.
When's the last time they had a down year?
Before Brady?
Oh, okay.
When's the last time you had a good year, Corey? Jeez.
Last year. Top 4.
Top.
I came close. That was in the semis.
I was
that year.
third, actually.
If you want to count that last game that no one cares about.
They
Except for
tied
the-
in the championship.
So, do we want to talk about some changes
Breakouts,
this
sleepers.
year?
No,
On
this
top-
is not league news.
Oh, okay.
Let's talk about breakouts, sleepers, and all that fun jazz while we have Matt
All
on the line.
Oh, this is where his dominance starts.
Who's?
Oh, John.
Oh.
So, what do you
Go
want to talk
ahead.
about first?
Who do we have for breakout players? Who do you think is going to be on your team, or should be on your team to help you
I'm not going to say anybody's going to be on my team. Ruin my draft.
ruin your draft?
Matt, go first. Who do you have for breakouts?
Going at quarterback, I have Marcus Mariota. I think he's getting some good weapons there, and as long as he can stay upright, I think he'll have a good chance. Running back, I'm going to go
Good weapons.
Jacquizz
You
Rodgers.
think the rookie?
Just based on where he's being drafted right now, it's a pretty good spot.
Go ahead, Corey.
Matt, who do you think Mariota's getting that's worthy of a good weapon? You're going to put faith in a rookie receiver?
I think Eric Decker's pretty good. I do think the rookies, Corey Davis, is he's going to be something pretty good in definitely in the upcoming years. But I think this year he'll be pretty decent.
What about their rookie from last year? What was his name? The
I
rookie
don't know.
receiver.
But I think Eric Decker having that veteran there, who's actually somewhat kind of still in his prime, will help him out a lot, and who's actually a good red zone threat. And that division is pretty bad, to be perfectly honest. I'm a Colts fan, so I will admit that division is very defensively challenged.
It's the worst division.
I don't know if that's it. Worst.
It's the worst division. Who's worse?
Well, you could argue that the NFC or the AFC North there, or AFC East with the Patriots, but everyone else but the Patriots, pretty much. That just brings that whole division right down.
But the Dolphins were actually competed for a playoff spot last year.
Yeah, but the parts
Jets,
on that
I give
team
you
are
the
just
Jets
not very
and
good.
the Bills suck. Yes.
Continuing on with wide receivers, Martavius Bryant, if he can keep his off-field issues to a minimum, has a chance to be a special player. Dante Moncrief, of the Colts, if his shoulder can stop bugging him, he could be pretty good. And Terrell Pryor of the Redskins. It's the first time I've actually had praise for a Redskins player, but I think he can. If he really wants to focus on being a wide receiver, I think he can be very, very good.
Even with
in the
Kirk
coming
Cousins?
years.
Yahoo.
Even with Kirk Cousins, Matt, you think he'll be all right?
I think Kirk Cousins is actually pretty good. So,
I mean, he is
I
the
think
highest
they'll be-
paid quarterback.
I think they're going to have a good tandem, and Washington has some good young receivers. So they could, really put together a solid season.
Matt, we have a lot of Bills fans in our league. Are there any breakout Bills players we should be watching out for?
Short answer, no.
I know there's a lot of hoopla surrounding their one rookie receiver there, Zay Jones, is it? And I know a lot of people are really high on him. I haven't really seen him much to weigh in on that. I
offense he
mean,
played
I
in,
think
they just
LaShawn
threw
McCoy is
short
obviously
passes.
very good, but he's not really a breakout at this point. If Sammy Watkins can finally stay healthy, he's obviously a good bet to be a breakout player, but he just needs to stay healthy first and foremost.
It is a contract year for Sammy Watkins, so.
And I mean, being the number 3 pick he was, he's really got to step up for them.
Is Anquan Bolden on the Bills?
Yeah, he just signed today. That's a big signing for them.
If everyone stays healthy.
Well, that's the like. I don't think they have anybody outside of Zay Jones isn't even proven, so who knows what he's going to be, and Sammy Watkins doesn't stay healthy. So
The Bills coach, their whole team's gonna be garbage.
Jesus.
And I'm being nice.
Who's our sleepers, Matt?
12 years ago.
My sleepers, touched on one of them, Kirk Cousins. I think he can build on what he did last year, even though they did lose some bigger pieces in the receiving game.
Wasn't even this day.
And you guys are going to think I'm a little crazy here, but I'm going to go Blake Bortles. He ended up finishing the year as a top 10 fantasy quarterback, even though he gets a lot of garbage time, points. They all count the same. So I think he could actually have a running game will help him out as long as he doesn't lose the job at some point.
Well, let's be fair
sure.
and just admit that you have a love for Blake Bortles.
I believe I do.
like more than just like football. Like it's just like you just are in love with him.
Yeah, like I am with Adam Scott.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
I mean, everyone's got one. It's just that's my bromance, Blake Bortles.
Everyone has that one player that it's going to be this year. He's going to do it this year.
What about Carson?
Yeah, that was Ryan Matthews.
Like I might still draft Romo this year.
Ryan Matthews is going to break out.
With Romo.
All right, this one's for Stefan. What about Carson Wentz? Is this his year, fantasy-wise?
I think if he doesn't do it this year, I mean,
we just talk about what he has around him.
He's got a lot more than he had last year. He's got Alshon Jeffrey, Torrey Smith, LeGarrette Blount now. They beefed up the offensive line a little bit, so hopefully he has some more time.
But he is very elusive. We saw that last year.
He's definitely elusive. But he's still, I mean, as a rookie, like getting rushed that much, you're not going to do great. So I think this is I think if he has a bad year, I'm not going to write him off, but I think he should improve. He should show signs of improvement. I don't think he's going to like be a top quarterback maybe, but
you don't think he'll be top 10?
He has the potential to be.
So is he your breakout?
That's my sleeper.
Your sleeper?
Yeah.
Anybody disagree?
No, I think Philly's going to try to run it quite a bit this year, actually. I mean, when you have LeGarrette Blount, I think they're going to just try to pound away. So he might take away a lot of his red zone opportunities, unless they do a bunch of kind of the end-around stuff where they fake toss and then Wentz just trots in the opposite direction for a little trot-in running touchdown.
Little Zach.
But I just don't see him getting a lot of passing touchdowns close to the end zone.
I know he's going to have like a lot of 50-yard passing touchdowns. So.
Oh God.
They don't even have to get near the end zone. No red zone attempts.
I think your next fantasy title just went another 5 years into the future there.
All right.
Is there any like hidden gems out there for NFL teams like Jacquizz Rodgers was for Tampa Bay out there that we might see this year?
Yeah, Kareem Hunt for the Chiefs. He's already outperforming Spencer Ware in training camp. He's a rookie. He was drafted in like the 5th or 3rd round. I can't remember exactly. But I think he's someone who not a lot of people are focused on that could be a good late pick in fantasy drafts.
Yeah, he was drafted in the 3rd round, Kareem Hunt.
3rd round.
But Andy Reid always has good luck with, running backs. So they traded up quite a few picks and gave up a lot to get him. So they Andy Reid's obviously a pretty big fan of his.
What about players to avoid?
Cam Newton, coming off a shoulder injury. He's been hit 933 times since he's been in the league. That's 300 more than the next closest player in that same time span. Meaning he's getting beat up.
Meaning he's a running quarterback.
He gets beat up. It's gonna wear.
But he's
it's
a running
already.
quarterback.
We already saw it's wearing on him. It's wearing on his body.
He already had a bad fantasy season
Yeah,
last year.
I'm just saying, like, I would avoid him.
So-
I wouldn't expect a
you're
bounce back.
You're saying that he can't do what McNabb did and just kind of start gearing towards being more of a pocket passer?
If you had Stone Cold Steve Austin, would you tell him to get in the ring and don't use the stunner? No. So if you have Cam Newton, he's gonna run. People are gonna use what their specialty is.
I mean, McNabb stopped running when he went to the pros. He wasn't a runner as much as he was in college.
Early in his early years at Philly, he was still running. Not quite as much, but he wasn't like running like Vic does. But he was still running.
Or Newton.
But he
If
definitely
I had
after he started getting hurt, he started going more towards being a pocket
I'm
passer.
saying 2 years ago, Newton had the MVP year and was a stud. Last year, he started getting popped and he was injury prone. And I'm saying he's not going to bounce back and then be like a top 3 quarterback again. I think that's over. He gets hit too much, and he's not going to change his playing style because I think his athleticism is what makes him special. Otherwise, you got a pocket passer who's not even really good at pocket passing.
I think he's decent at pocket passing.
Decent. He's probably middle of the road.
He could always improve. He's still pretty young.
I have one thing to say here. In that the year that Cam Newton had his MVP season was, he had the easiest schedule in the NFL that year for passing. The year before that, he had one of the toughest schedules, and he had a really bad year. Last year, he had another really tough schedule and had a big down year. This upcoming year, the Panthers have the easiest schedule for a quarterback, and I think the easiest schedule as well for their receivers. So there's a lot to like about that with their matchups.
So
they only have about 3 really tough matchups the whole year against good defenses. So in their fantasy, their whole slate there is very good. I think they play Atlanta, Tampa Bay, and the Saints, and maybe some combination of those teams in those fantasy playoffs. Lot to like about those matchups.
But those matchups are going off of last year, and I think Atlanta's defense became a lot better towards the end of the year. So I don't.
They were still a
expect it to
gunslinging
slack.
defense who got a lot of points put up against them.
At the end of the year?
But kind of the whole year, they were still giving up lots of points.
The Super Bowl. It's a pretty shitty defense, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, against an average quarterback, too.
Yeah, he's not even a good quarterback.
He's not even that good.
Is Matt Ryan going to have a good season?
I would stay away from him.
I say stay away from Dak Prescott.
My quarterbacks to stay away from are Carson Palmer, Tyrod Taylor, and Big Ben.
And Jay
I don't think
Cutler.
any of them are. I think they're all very injury prone, so that's one reason I wouldn't kind of go near any of them.
When do you think Drew Brees and Tom Brady's run's going to end?
Whenever they retire.
Drew Brees first.
You don't think they're going to have a Peyton Manning type last season before?
Peyton Manning's last season sucked.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, okay.
Well, neither of them have had quite the injury that Peyton had, though. I mean,
that's true.
Yeah.
They haven't had anything quite that serious yet.
Yeah.
Might have just jinxed them, but I hope not. But they haven't had anything that big like that before. I mean, the year Brady broke his leg was one thing, but that's not your neck or your spine.
Brees' elbow, right, or his shoulder. That's what got him
Who's
from
that?
the Chargers to. Well, Drew Brees had a major injury. That's what got him from the Chargers to the Saints.
Yeah, but as we saw, that actually wasn't really that major of a thing. They just had already drafted Phillip Rivers at that point and were ready just to make the move.
Side note: the year that Tom Brady broke his leg, I drafted him #1 overall.
Going into that season with super high hopes and just dashed.
Were you able to handcuff Matt Castle?
No, probably not.
Yeah, I had Brady in a different league the year before, and that was like his phenomenal season.
Yeah, he had a great year, and I was like, oh, I got him. Bam. Locked him up. First game of the year. Done.
That was awful.
All right, who's our rookies that we're looking at?
Leonard Fournette and Christian McCaffrey.
I think
I like Christian McCaffrey as well. I mean, obviously everyone's kind of on him. And Corey mentioned Kareem Hunt earlier. Those are the two guys who I think actually have a decent shot at running back this year to make a difference. It didn't really seem to be anyone from the quarterback, or I wasn't too crazy with any of the wide receivers this year.
What about the tight ends, O.J. Howard and
I was going to say, O.J. Howard got an 86 in Madden football this year, second highest behind Leonard Fournette.
I think tight ends take a little bit to kind of get themselves accustomed to the league, just because the blocking, I think, is so much different in the NFL than versus the college. I think it really beats them up going up against some of these bigger guys, so they get worn out a little quicker and don't have as much to kind of exert on the offensive end and kind of struggle.
Even though
I think it takes them usually about a year until they can kind of get into it a little bit.
Or 5 years like Vernon Davis.
He's not starting, though. That's the thing.
No, but your other tight end there, and I can't remember his name right now.
Great.
He's more of the offensive, one. He's got the great relationship with Jameis Winston. I think it's going to take O.J. Howard a little bit to kind of get all those reps with Jameis and to earn his trust a little bit. So I don't think it's going to be immediate.
I've asked my questions. You guys have any more?
Is Mark Ingram going to be hurt by Adrian Peterson being alongside him, fantasy-wise?
Yeah, I think so. I would want no part of that whole backfield, to be perfectly honest. I know the Saints, once they get inside about the 10-yard line, are one of the teams that actually run the football the most. But it's just there's too many mouths to feed in that backfield, and it's just it's a little dangerous there. It's a little risky for my blood, unless you're in the end of or in the middle to late part of the draft, and all of them are still there, and you can pick them up for a pretty cheap price and kind of just wait for one guy to kind of break out amongst the rest of them. Then it's probably worth your investment. But if you're going to spend within the first 5 rounds of the draft on one of those guys, I wouldn't advise that.
I heard there's someone in our league that's going to keep Adrian Peterson.
Best of luck to that individual.
He who shall not be named.
He who shall not. And by the way, Gary, Tyrod is not having a breakout year.
Yeah, I watched Tyrod in Virginia Tech, and I was honestly never impressed when I was down there. He was at school there all 4 years that I was there. He just doesn't put enough zip on his passes. He floats the ball way too much, and it bites him in the ass every time.
Bills
and
fans.
He's kind of never figured that out. So I've never drafted him or will draft him until he fixes that.
I've watched Tyrod play in Buffalo, and I've never been impressed. So
Bills fans better hope he gets hurt.
Matt, what about Brandon Cooks being a top 5 receiver now that he's teamed up with Tom Brady?
I think that's a little risky with how much Tom Brady really spreads it out. I know that Brady last year was the top deep ball thrower by a quarterback last year by a wide margin, and he does like to air it out. Chris Hogan had a really good vertical routes last year and had really good averages versus the rest of the NFL. So there is a lot of potential there, and I've heard in camp so far that Cooks looks really good and is displaying his speed that he has and is really catching the few big bombs from Brady. So there's definitely something there, but I've heard on multiple other avenues that the Patriots have not had two 1,000-yard players receiving-wise yards since I think it was only maybe once in the past 7 years. So the odds of there being two people that really go off on the Patriots isn't very good. So there's a lot of targets to go around, but there's a lot of people there that are still very good. And if Gronk's back and healthy, then he's going to be getting a good share of all that stuff. And you got to really rely on the big plays for Cooks.
Well, and I know Tom Brady has raved about their rookie last year, Malcolm Mitchell, so he'll probably get a little more reps this year.
Yeah, and that's only going to make things worse for Cooks. I mean, he's not the biggest end zone threat. Granted, Brady does like to throw a lot of the bubble screens and whatnot, but I feel like he really likes Edelman for a lot of those plays more so. So Cooks really, his best shots are the deep bombs to get the touchdowns. If you had a PPR league, maybe I'd take a chance on him a little higher up, but if you're just relying on those big plays, it's a little dicier. I mean, to have Tom Brady as your quarterback is obviously awesome, but he had Drew Brees past few years and didn't put up any crazy stellar seasons. So, I mean, he definitely deserves to be, in that top echelon of receivers, maybe 10 to 15 range, but I don't think he should be top 5 by any means.
I feel like with Brandon Cooks going there, and like you say that Tom Brady has all these other options, does that not leave Brandon Cooks with more opportunity? Because you can't really, you can't double him. I mean, if he's gonna have one-on-one coverage a lot of times, and he's obviously extremely fast. So I feel like he breaks out more often than not, in my opinion, just because of the fact that you've got to put a safety on, Gronk, and you've got Julian Edelman and whatever else.
Yeah, but one of the things the Patriots do best is use people as decoys. So they'll take all your focus and put it on Cooks, and then they're just going to beat you every other place. That's one thing that they just love to do. They're like, all right, we know this is the decoy. We're just going to run him out there, and then we're just going to beat you with all our other receivers. So he may be one of the focal points, but he's not going to really put up the numbers, I don't think.
So you think Gronk could have a big year? Because if they're going to focus on Cooks over the top, Gronk's going to be open under the middle.
Yeah, he could have a big yardage season, but then once Gronk's kind of unstoppable end zone wise, and just his size is obviously pretty tough to overcome for any safeties in the red zone. So he could still put up a lot of touchdowns, and likely will, but he could have a pretty big yardage year this year.
Since we play in a keeper league, I don't think this really matters, but for those starting off in new leagues all the time, you have that number 1 draft pick. Who are you taking number 1, Matt?
Depends on the league, if it's a PPR, non-PPR, or, ours a 2-quarterback league. But all in all, it's David Johnson's pretty hard to pass up. And Le'Veon Bell, as long as, he comes back to camp in time to somewhat stay in shape. I know they've kind of been saying that he's in crazy good shape anyways. He stays in really good shape in the off season. But those two would probably be right around the top of my board. I just think that more and more of the backfields now are just getting a little more committee-ish. So it's harder to really get those bell cow backs. So those two would probably be up there for me. In a 2-quarterback league, you kind of have to get one of the top quarterbacks, I feel. It's hard to compete if you don't have one of the, say, a top 10 guy. It's hard to catch up, even though the quarterbacks they're getting so much better nowadays, and the top 15 is all really good. But I think still having a couple of the top guys really puts you ahead of everyone else. Well,
look
and
at
I know the wide receivers are all pretty stable, so that's the nice thing about Antonio Brown and whatnot, that he's just so steady. But if you saw it last season when Big Ben went out, he kind of got hurt pretty bad. And Big Ben, he gets hurt a lot. And he almost retired at the end of last season, so it scares me a little bit with him. But wide receivers are always, him and Beckham. I mean, you can't really go wrong with those guys.
And you saw in our league last year, 3 out of the 4 teams that finished in the top 4 all had good quarterbacks.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty telling sign that, you kind of have to have, especially in our league where you have the option to only have one quarterback and play your offensive player position as something other than a quarterback. But those teams get hurt if you don't have a quarterback in them. So it's really big to have a quarterback and a decent backup in there. You don't necessarily need the backup because, you only really need them for 2 weeks out of the year, bearing injury. But I think really just having 2 good quarterbacks is a huge advantage over the rest of your competition.
And the person who won our league had Matt Ryan and Ben Roethlisberger last year.
And Phillip Rivers as his backup, so that was pretty good.
Yeah, that's solid. And I believe the guy who won the regular season had Drew Brees and Jameis Winston.
Yeah, which wasn't too shabby either, especially when he had Michael Thomas and Mike Evans as well.
Yeah.
It was like I almost did that intentionally or something.
Yeah, something like that.
And then the other one, Matt, you were probably the weakest of the quarterbacks out of the 4 teams, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Yep, probably.
And you had Andrew Luck and Blake Bortles, was it?
I don't remember who my other quarterbacks were. But I know Luck and Bortles are who I had most of the year.
And then the 4th team was me, who had Tom Brady and Dak Prescott. And Mariota.
And you had Cam Newton.
And Cam Newton.
I had Jared Goff.
That was solid.
Didn't you also have Wentz, too?
Yes, I did. I didn't even draft Wentz. I picked him up after Bradford got traded. I drafted Romo, unfortunately. That was my downfall. Yeah. Romo was supposed to be one of my top 2 quarterbacks, and obviously did not work out.
Not even top 50.
He did play that
I love preseason.
Matt, is Dak Prescott going to go down in history as better than Tony Romo?
Is Dak Prescott? I heard you guys talking about this earlier. Romo had some really good years, but I think he's unfortunately going to be more known for his miscues and his injuries, which shouldn't be that way. He got pretty unlucky at times. He really was a really good quarterback, but just was unlucky in the big moments. It's he had a really good career, and it's going to be tough for Dak to kind of live up to that. But Dak has all the tools to certainly do that. If he can, stay on the track that he showed us last year, he definitely has a good chance of surpassing Romo. But we've only seen him play 1 season. We don't know, if he could build injury concerns, how durable he really is. So you got to give it like a season or 2 to kind of really get a better picture of how he's going to do in the upcoming years.
All that matters is the Cowboys don't win in the playoffs. That's all that matters, really.
Matt, would you?
Yeah, I'm alright with that.
Matt, would you, just in the regular NFL, not fantasy, would you rather have a quarterback that showed consistency or a quarterback who showed a low floor but an extremely high ceiling? I ask you because I think there's a valid argument in people who think that Cam Newton is better than Andy Dalton. They were drafted the same year, but Andy has remained extremely consistent. Cam Newton has shown he can get to the Super Bowl, but also shown that can be awful.
I don't remember us bringing it about our teams. Why do you gotta bring this about your team?
You can ask him a question about your team.
Stefan walks away.
That's an interesting question. I would normally go for consistency, but it depends on what you want from your team, your favorite team or whatnot. If you want, to have those highs and not have the lows, then you want to probably just go with the consistent guy to, you have a better track record to maybe, break out one of those years. But
right, Andy Dalton had always made the
if
playoffs.
you just care about championships and the potential of, getting there and just winning one and just being crappy the next year, then by all means go for the, big break guy. Go for the Cam Newton type. But obviously that's a little more fun because your team gets to rebuild a little bit and get some better draft picks every once in a while. So I think you can go either way, but it's just mostly personal preference and how much agony you want in seasons.
I don't know if we'll have you on before the regular season starts. So who are you picking for Super Bowl champion?
Wow. I didn't even think about this. I think that Big Ben's going to give it one last shot, and I think the Steelers are kind of retooled this year, and I think they might have a pretty good chance at it. So I'm going to go with them. I think they're a little, I don't think anyone's kind of touting them, so I think they have a kind of a good chance to fly under the radar. If they can keep every one of their big pieces healthy, which is a big question mark, but that's my early preseason favorite to win it.
So I'm not afraid to say it. I'm a Tampa Bay fan. I feel they're going to make the playoffs. I don't think they're going to go very far in the playoffs because they're such a young team, but do you think they're going to make the playoffs? My turn to be
I think
selfish.
they've actually got a good shot. I think the Saints are going to fall off again this year. Atlanta's going to probably win the division, but I think Tampa Bay is going to be right on their heels. I think they're going to be a lot better than most people think they are. Their defense is very young, but it's a very good defense and very talented. So I think they definitely have a good chance to put up a fight with Atlanta. They played Atlanta pretty close last year.
Contrary to what Greg Schiano says about their defensive line.
But I think Tampa actually has a pretty good chance to make the playoffs, and they could make some noise.
What about
they've got enough talent on that team. So.
What about the Eagles, since Stefan's not here?
I think they've got another year to rebuild a little bit more. I think we'll be talking about them for the next year or the year after, really getting up to speed and making some noise in the NFL and the playoffs. I think, the Cowboys are going to be tough to beat right now. The Giants have kind of retooled everything. The Redskins are kind of rebuilding a little bit, but I think all three of those teams are a little ahead of where the Eagles are right now. So I think they're going to be rebuilding still a bit, even with their Alshon signing and LeGarrette Blount. I think they're going to be towards the bottom of that division. So maybe another year or so.
And what about the Bengals? Let's just round up all three of us.
Well, obviously I picked the Steelers to probably win that division, but the Ravens have been getting crushed by injuries once again, so they've lost quite a few people already to injury. So I think they're kind of an up and down team, and I'm not the biggest Joe Flacco fan, so even though he is the highest paid quarterback in the league, he just doesn't really float my boat. So I think they're not going to have a great year. So I think the Bengals are likely kind of what they always are, the number 2 in that division. But they could, they'll probably be a wild card team, and if AJ Green goes off, and depending on how Joe Mixon looks, they really could be a more balanced offense this year than they've been in a while, and really make a run at it. It just depends on if Perfect can keep a level head on the defense, and if that defense can, play up to what they should be. They've got a lot of head cases on that defense, and if they all stay level-headed, they'll be really good. But it's just a matter of if they can do that.
And I obviously, this is the first time I've ever spoken with you. Who's your favorite team?
The Indianapolis Colts. So they're kind of rebuilding as well. I think Tennessee's probably going to win that division. I think Mariota's going to put up a big year, and I think that Tennessee team is just kind of primed to make a run now. The Colts could easily win it, but the Colts have just never had a good defense, and they really need to get a good defense and get a good offensive line to keep Luck off his bottom so much and from getting hurt. So they need to do that first and foremost. So I can't really pick them to do much until I can see that they can actually do that.
All right. Well, we've gone well over our normal time, so I'm going to let you go because I feel like your phone battery's got to be dying by now.
I charged it right before this, so I'd be ready. But
there we go. Someone that comes prepared. Maybe we should start making you a regular.
I could do that.
Although you may be my arch nemesis, you are a value to the team, and we look forward to having you, I guess. Maybe Corey, not so much, but I look forward to joining us again if you wish to do so. Maybe we'll do like a fantasy recap every week with you or something.
Sounds good to me. Thanks for having me, guys.
See you, Matt.
See you, Matt.
Yep.
Talk to you later. All right. Do you guys have any other words of wisdom before we close this show? Stefan, do you got a top 5?
Yeah.
Sure. Top 5 fantasy players this year.
I figured since we've got the longest running show right now, might as well keep it going. Why end the show?
6 minutes.
Just keep it going. Let's set the record. That way we can break it next week.
This was easily our best show, so just keep it going.
Yeah.
Corey can read off with me here. Look at this.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, he's got a list?
He is prepared.
What?
I am like blown away right now.
Wow.
Top 5 fantasy prospects for our league.
Our
For a 2-quarterback league.
For a 2-quarterback league.
And IDP.
And IDP. There's no defensive players on this top 5 list.
Apparently you don't value them.
I don't.
Okay.
Not for a top 5 overall.
Okay.
This is not your list, Corey. This is Stefan's.
I would never draft a defensive player in the first round.
I wouldn't either.
Okay.
All right. Moving on.
Number 5.
We're on the same page.
A
Literally.
one Mr. Antonio Brown. Depending on how well Roethlisberger.
I was going to say,
stays
Matt, I
healthy.
think my
Matt kind of shot that one down for you.
That's why I've got Julio Jones. Julio Jones, number 4. I've got him above Antonio Brown. A lot of people would put Antonio Brown above Julio, but I feel like Julio has the better quarterback, more healthy quarterback.
Whoa. Did you just say better quarterback? You think Matt Ryan's better than
More
Ben
healthy.
Roethlisberger?
Total picture. I'm talking about
This year, maybe.
younger.
Yeah.
He's not that much younger.
He's younger though.
He doesn't have 2 Super Bowls. That's for sure.
He
got
doesn't
the
blow it in
biggest
the
hope
Super
of all
Bowl.
time.
Both of you guys can go to hell.
That's
Number 3. Probably the best running back in my opinion. David Johnson. I didn't believe in him until last year when he just tore it up.
You need to see it again. The first year you
He's-
thought it might have been fluke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too. I think a lot of people did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is
A
going
lot
to
of
be his
people were taking
drop-off
Tom
year.
Gurley over him
Yeah.
in drafts.
I honestly think this is going to be his drop-off year, though. I think there's only so much.
I mean, it could be, but
No one expects the Cardinals to do well, but on the flip side, who else is going to do anything on the offense for the Cardinals?
Very true.
Probably him.
number 2, Tom Brady. He is aging and aging.
So he's number 2, greatest of all time. Number 2.
No, this is not greatest of all time.
Greatest fantasy players of all time.
This is greatest fantasy. This is the best fantasy players
right now. I understand that. I'm just clarifying for the viewers that the greatest of all time.
Well, then why are you trying to change the top 5?
I'm not. It's
you're trying to
debatable.
change
That's the point of this top 5, so we can debate it, Stefan. I'm just saying he's the greatest of all
You're debating
time.
the wrong things. You're debating something that I'm not even doing a top 5
No,
on.
I was just making a statement. Greatest of all time.
Michael Jordan. We all know.
Number 1 is Michael Jordan.
Somehow he made it.
Number 1, we're going to go with the number 1 fantasy quarterback. Probably number 1 fantasy player last year, I think. Possibly.
I think Matt Ryan.
I'm telling you right now, he was the number 1 for his position in ESPN.
Was he?
Yeah.
On our league?
Yeah. So it tells you, like, what
I won't
they're
argue
like.
that. I don't know that. I really just thought it was Matt Ryan. He had a crazy good year.
He did have a crazy good year,
Yeah.
but I think Aaron Rodgers had a better year.
But Tom Brady, had he not missed 4 games, might have been better.
Right, no, yeah.
Okay.
If Tom Brady had played all year, he probably could have had a very realistic chance of being number 1. But number 1 is Aaron Rodgers. It's been solid.
Broke up with Olivia Munn. He should be focused.
He should be ashamed of himself.
He could do better. He could do better. She could do better. They don't deserve each other.
Really, Stefan just wants Olivia Munn for himself. Yeah.
Well,
Actually,
you know.
I just want Aaron Rodgers.
I just want
Aaron Rodgers come back to me this year. Somehow make it back to me.
You keep him, you'd have him.
Do I want to use him as number 1?
Oh, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be the number 1 fantasy player this year, but I'm not going to keep him.
Do I want to waste a number 1 draft pick?
On the best player available?
Your best player, you're not going to waste it?
The best player available is on your team.
I've got a lot of. Jared Goff could come up this year. Jared Goff could be a hot pick.
He keeps mentioning him. I'm starting to think he's serious.
You know where I drafted him? Probably pretty late. So I mean, could
all I'm gonna say is I think we all need a drink before the podcast starts from now on. I think that's now the requirement. Hey, we had a record number of live viewers for a non-streaming of Conor McGregor. I'm just going to say that.
What did we get up to?
8.
8?
Yeah. I don't know what 8. I know a couple of them, but...
I told Gary to make sure he watched.
Gary did watch, and then...
Because I figured it would be entertaining.
He did tune out after he mentioned Tyrod's breakout, so...
Yeah. He probably just wanted to mention Buffalo.
While you were gone, Matt said the Eagles were going to come in last in the division.
Yeah. He's a fucking idiot. He's lucky that I wasn't here. I was saying, Matt, I hope you're listening. You're a fucking idiot.
He was watching at one point after the interview. So, Matt, we appreciate. And I think Stefan has gone like this. I think Matt's above you, Stefan. I think
I'm back to being the arch nemesis.
Yeah.
Good.
You gained a little respect
this year too, so you're not my. Actually, no.
That was a long pause.
Because I was trying to remember what I did for the.
Kevin, before we go, did you want to debate his top 5? Other than saying Tom Brady's, number 2
greatest of all time. Well, I have a problem with Aaron Rodgers being number 1, but
who would you put there?
I would put Tom Brady.
Fair.
Also,
I think those two. Honestly, I think those two are interchangeable. I would be happy with either one.
I didn't have too much of an issue. I mean,
especially in our league. I mean, either one of those guys on your team, you're in good shape.
I think the only thing I would do is drop. I don't know. I feel like Julio and Antonio are also interchangeable, but I'd try to find somehow to get Le'Veon Bell on that list. So I guess I'd put him number 5.
Le'Veon Bell. I mean,
I don't know if I've seen a running back that can catch out of the backfield like him. honestly.
But I just
Maybe since LaDainian. I saw LaDainian.
Was last year the year that he was suspended, or the year before? Year before,
last year. Just last year he missed 4 games, I thought.
I thought it was the year before. Last year I think he played the whole year. I could be wrong.
Man, why'd Matt get off the podcast so soon?
Yeah, jeez.
Whatever year, because I made it. I don't think I traded with Mark.
Stefan, you're gonna give yourself a headache. Stop thinking so
And
hard.
year that he was suspended for 4 games, I traded with Mark to give him a quarterback, and I got Le'Veon Bell, and I was all excited about it. And then he didn't do shit that whole year, really, even when he came back from his suspension. I think that was the year before.
Okay.
All I know is
last year Dan had him, but I just couldn't remember if he played the whole year.
Oh, well, if Dan had him last year, then yeah, it was the year before that. He didn't do anything, really.
Yeah, Dan had Le'Veon Bell and Derek Carr and a few other good players, like, on paper, and then Dan's team sucked.
But I feel like Bell didn't really. I don't know. I don't feel like he did great last year.
I think he was the second best running back.
I mean, no, I don't think he was.
Who was? Melvin Gordon?
Let's fucking look it up. We have that capability. Sometimes.
I've exited out of most of the screens, so
That's okay. I've got it. I've got it.
Got it.
We're on it. We're going to tell everybody who the best players in our league were.
You said Dan had him.
Yes. I know that. He has him. Yep.
There's the 4th best running back.
Oh, I thought that was pre-rank.
No, that's position rank.
No.
That's what that means.
Can't you click on the players overall?
I can, yeah. I just wanted to show you that real fast.
Well, I think he missed games then.
All right, this is making for fabulous podcasting ability here. So I'm gonna end the show.
Oh.
We'll come back with the results next podcast.
All right, sounds good.
Or if Stefan can find it while I close out the show. We had a lot happen. Things were guessed. People were called out. People were shut up. Mainly me. Stefan's Eagles were shot down. I have to go to the bathroom really bad. How about you, Corey?
I don't have any thoughts.
Zero thoughts.
All right, then.
I think we had a fabulous podcast.
It was fun. I'm excited to be live next week with you guys. Another split screen stuff.
It's going to be a good time when we're all drinking together.
Yeah. I can only imagine how long that podcast is going to be.
Sounds awful already.
Hard Knocks debuts this Tuesday, excuse me. If you're interested in watching how the Super Bowl champs became the Super Bowl champs. It's the greatest thing. Stefan's deep in thought. He's not even paying attention to me. All right. Tune in next week.
You want to know who was? It was McCoy, David Johnson, Elliott, McCoy, then Bell.
But Bell didn't play the first 3 games.
Huh?
Okay.
Still was the number 2 running back. Regardless.
I think per average he would have been. Oh, no, he wouldn't have been. Oh, but they count the zeros. So.
I don't think they count the zeros. Yeah, 169 points. How many games? 13.
This is what happens after the show ends, folks. Just saying.
I'll tell you right now, I know Matt.
Thanks for tuning in.
Not the zeros.
Adios.
See ya.